Hey Capricorn, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the 15th through the 30th of November. Let's get right into things. This is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Guys, general messages, don't make them fit if they don't. Make sure you check your rising sun, moon sign, and Venus sign. I changed my setup a little bit because I want to throw a lot of cards today. As this 2 weeks in November, we have a lot going on. So let's just see what comes out. We're going to do a little bit of this and that. So let's just talk about some of the things that are going on in the sky. We have a lot happening on the 21st. We have Venus entering Scorpio. It's going to be hanging there until the 15th of December. And we also have the sun is going to be entering in Sag, and that'll be there until the 21st of December, like it always says. Did I say September 1st? Anyway, Venus until December 15th. So let's talk about that one first. You know, Venus in Scorpio is a very deeply passionate energy. I mean, there's just going to be this serious focus on relationships, nothing superficial. Superficial will not do. This is a very intense energy, extreme, really craving that kind of deep, intense, unforgettable kind of connection. It's almost like an all-consuming kind of energy, but it's going to be welcomed by you. This is something that you're going to want. Now, if you're not in relationship, remember, Venus does not only rule relationships, right? Venus also rules self-esteem, self-worth, self-love, self-care, as well as money. So for some of you, you might be, hello, Capricorn, sexuality is what came up. So that's going to be a thing for some of you. We'll talk about that in a second. But a very, very intense energy, you know. Some of you are going to be very focused on your money, but not just focused on money, that kind of thing. It's going to be focused on, you're going to feel focused on feeling passionate about how you make money, feeling good about how you make money, feeling good about whatever you're in. There is going to be this like grand question going on for everybody, like, how am I feeling? How am I doing? You know, how much reciprocity is going on in this connection, whether it's a regular relationship, intimacy, or a business connection, whatever it is. Really getting in touch with what is going on in the feeling space, right? Now, our drive is towards this intense closeness or this intensity, but blind faith in our partners or even in a situation is going to be really difficult right now. Just know that going into the energy. If you're feeling that, hopefully you remember this. It's okay, right? Because the fears of being too vulnerable, like that's scary, right? Or giving up your own power over to someone who you know has this sort of like energetic stronghold on you, right? Because Scorpio really is this all or nothing energy. Serendipity, beautiful. You know, Scorpio really is this this all or nothing kind of energy for sure. You know, I mean, as I always say, wherever Scorpio is in our chart, that's where our obsessions lie, right? Where we feel very, very passionate about something. So, you know, you're just really not going to be wanting any middle of the road superficial stuff. But, you know, and this can compel us to create crisis in order to feel alive or vital in a particular area where we're feeling the strong passion in. So whether it's our relationship or whether it's our job or whether it's, you know, wanting to get to the bottom of something that we've been feeling, we need to be very patient with ourselves here. Now, the sun in Sag takes everything from this Scorpio sun energy into this very kind of like, but more intimate, into more of like a worldview, right? You're going to have this desire, we're all going to be feeling this desire to reach out to the world and connect with something larger than ourselves, you know. And with the sun in this energy is very fiery. It's a mutable sign. So we can take steps to increase our understanding very successfully in our awareness in the world around us right now. So we're just better able to open up our mind in a certain way. I just feel like I have to stop there. Open up our minds in a certain way to really think differently and to really find a new kind of hope, So that's what's going on there. Then on the 28th, woohoo, like Neptune is stationed in direct. Thank goodness, you know, I always say Neptune's like trying to look at life through a dirty window or thick fog, whatever. I mean, Neptune's confusing when it's like... when it's positioned in a fabulous way. Neptune retrograde is like, really, we have been feeling so blinded by just stuff, and it's gonna start to lift. So I always say, though, you always want to give these retrograde energies a little bit of time to unravel. And when they do station direct, they're always kind of like their strongest. So don't be surprised if on the 28th you feel actually more confused rather than less confused, but no, it's going to pass. Okay, just know that. Now on the 30th, the last little thing I want to mention, and I say I'm just going to mention it because I'm going to do a full video about this full moon lunar eclipse that we're going to be having on the 30th, right? With the nodal energies, we have the sun in Sagittarius is the south node, north node is Gemini, moon's going to be in Gemini, right? It's going to be a very emotional time. This is going to be a time of romance, a time of fertilization, of being able to grow things for relationships, business, different connections. Really beautiful. It really is powerful, but you have to know that couple of things about this that I just want to mention. First of all, it's going to stimulate some turning points and epiphanies. That's number one. Number two, there's a definite story unfolding, and we're right in the middle of it. We're in the middle. And like it started in the spring, into June, and it's going to keep going until December 2021. We're in the middle because this one is the second eclipse along this axis, so we're kind of like entering the middle part of the story right now. I just wanted to tell you that. I'm going to do a whole video on it. So if you want to get ready for that video, look up your birth chart, use any free birth chart calculator, and look to see, you have to know what time you were born, as I always mention, and check out where, before you check out that video, understand where your Gemini and Sagittarius energies hang, because I'm going to be talking about degrees and stuff, so you'll be able to personalize it even more to your own chart. Okay, so we have sexuality. Now sexuality doesn't only mean like, hey baby, you know, this kind of thing. It also means looking at ourselves and seeing what is intimacy and sex mean for you. Where does it have a place in your life? What do you feel passionate about? Now this is a general message, so this is in general about you. Where are you in your level of feeling in touch with your sexuality and in touch with your passion? It's not only sex, right? It's what feeds you, Capricorn, like what gets you going. What makes you excited, and really getting in touch with that. Now, it can, in a very pragmatic way, have to do with sexuality. Like, are you as open and as expressive as you would like to be? And if not, do you miss that? Or were you ever that? And why? And, you know, all the questions that would surround that, you know, in your own subjective experience. But it's looking at that and being able to tap in and celebrate the beautiful aspects inside of yourself to allow those passions to rise to the surface. My goodness, especially in a Venus entering Scorpio energy. Are you kidding? Because Scorpio rules sex. It does. You know, it does. It rules sex. It's about what really inside of you, though, really gets you going. And I just want to leave it there, because I want you to blanket that sensibility across all the different aspects of your life. And you know what I'm talking about. Like what seriously gets you excited about life? What gets you excited about being open and with someone? What is it that you look for? What do you feel like you're missing? And if it's not in a relationship, you can even apply this idea of passion to a job. Absolutely. And then we have serendipity. So I like this because there are going to be a lot of serendipitous things coming on, especially with this full moon lunar eclipse. Lots of epiphanies, lots of serendipitous kind of situations, like phone calls from out of nowhere, just kind of running into people, things just occurring to you out of nowhere. And I feel like that's going to be more of the situation than anything else, because epiphanies are very serendipitous, right? They don't happen energetically, just sort of on their own. There is always a reason behind it. So you're going to be doing a lot of realization, a lot of this sort of self-actualizing in this energy. It does seem like, for sure. And now going to the Lenormand, we're starting with the bear. The bear is all about sustenance. What do you need as your bear essentials, Capricorn, as far as money, the roof over your head, the clothes on your back? I want you to think second house Taurus energies here, right? I mean, the bear energy really is about mother. And what I mean by that is you want to think about the role of a mother, right? When a baby is young, what do? They provide them with all the sustenance that they need to just maintain life, right? Clothes on their back, roof over their head. And you're very much thinking about this. But then we have the skate, and the skate is all about cutting something out. So you're cutting something out as far as what it is that you think you need, and you're looking a lot deeper. Now, the thing is with the book of knowledge, this is that you need to learn something, and not because you're not intelligent, because we all know you are. This is about the need to literally learn something new. Learn a new way of approaching. You need to let go of what you thought you needed, and you need to learn something new. Now we have the whips, which indicates arguing. Now this could be you starting it, somebody else starting it, you guys starting it with each other, engaging in some sort of argument that can end up inciting some sort of ending, or you're arguing about a cycle being over in something. So this can have to do with a relationship, this could have to do with a business connection, a family situation. You guys could be arguing about the passing of someone. You guys can be arguing about the end of a business. You guys can be arguing about needing to start adopting a new cycle in something in order for there to be success. So obviously that can be applied to relationship, that can be applied to business, whatever it is, but there's going to be conflict there. Because you don't get the coffin. The coffin energy indicates there's an ending, but there is this belief in rebirth, right? So it's this rebirth, but there's going to be a challenge in the rebirth, but yet it's going to happen because we do have the sun on the other side. But again, we got two book energies here, guys. The two different Lenormands. Whenever we get double messages, I always pay great attention to that. We also got the Book of Knowledge here. So we got it in both Lenormand decks, which indicates to me that there's something that needs to be learned here. And that you may have to wear the mask for a minute, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It just means like you're getting your ducks in a row. Now, for some of you, no, I feel like that's it. I don't feel like that this is like anything negative. I feel like, Capricorn, more than anything, you're going to be kind of acting as if while you get your ducks in a row, because you're still, you're going into, you're making some changes. And they don't have to be big, grandiose changes, but I see you releasing something that you're realizing you don't need anymore, but you're trying to really figure out what it is that you do need. And I do see some sort of cycle ending. And this doesn't need to be like anything crazy. It could just be literally the switching of how something is approached, either within relationship, within work, within some sort of family situation. But you may not feel 100% with it. You may end up saying, yeah, I'm 100% on board with this, whatever, just for the time, as you do a little bit more investigating into a situation or research on a situation. Or the Book of Knowledge could also be, you trying to get in touch with something that you are feeling very deeply that maybe you can't quite crystallize within your own mind. You're struggling to actually articulate something to yourself in as far as what it is that you want, need, and desire. And that could go having to do with career. This could have to do with relationship. Even, what do you want, need, and desire from your friends and your family connection? What do you want? What gets you going? What gets you going? But all of this is happening for a reason. There's no question. There's no question. And it's very blessed too, right? Because we have the 4-leaf clover on there. So everything here, even if it's a challenge as you're going through it, it really does end. I see this in a very positive evolution. So, all right. So those are the crowning energies we got. Let's get right into pulling. What do we want to do? What do we want to do for our Capricorn friend? All right, let's do the light seers, and then we'll pull. Maybe we'll pull the wild unknown for the other. So I'm going to do a past, present, final outcome, and then a row of your challenges. And then I'm going to pull a little bit of a separate spread for an energy that you're dealing with, right? What they're thinking about a situation. And then we'll pull some astro cards, throw the astro dice, and tap into the energy of the sky that we need to understand. So let's pull 4. Past, present, outcome. Woohoo! We got the sun. We got the star reverse. Interesting. Wow. Okay. All right. So we got the Chariot right in the recent past. All right. Somebody who's making some not such hot decisions. Okay. Chariot in the reverse. This indicates giving up, losing direction, maybe listening to some lousy advice, or maybe doing things that, you know, like that little voice inside your head was saying, don't do it, and you were doing it anyway, or you were having a really hard time extricating yourself from something, even though you knew it wasn't the best thing for you. But, you know, it's like it's an energy of feeling stuck, right? Because the Chariot in the upright is about action and change and let's go move forward. Here you feel stuck. There's a stuck energy here. And then we have this working with the Four of Swords in the upright. So the Four of Swords in the upright is about retreating and resting, feeling a sense of renewal, right? Feeling the sense of renewal. But remember, this is a Jupiter and Libra energy, and Jupiter expands whatever it's in. And Libra is that 7th house of partnership. So this could have to do with that marriage level partnership, or this could certainly have to do with a business level partnership, even any kind of deep shared soul connection within family or a good friendship. And you're trying to figure out how to fix something, I feel like, in the recent past. You were trying to figure out how it could be successful. Was it even possible? You know, because you really were very focused on your happiness, very focused on there being success in something with the Nine of Cups, wishes coming true, material abundance. You were very, very focused on this. So for some of you, you were trying to maybe, you know, strategize, how can I make my work, you know, feel better, be better? How can I like it better? How can I make more money? Whatever it is, because you were very focused on what it is that you want, need, and desire in this Nine of Cups energy. Those of you in relationship, obviously the same thing, where you're trying to you're racking your brain trying to figure out a way, how could you make something work? But then ultimately we have this 10 of Wands energy, which is a complete and painful ending. And something, you know, really reaching its expiration date as it was. And keep in mind, this 10 of Swords is still a minor arcana. So it's the ending of something as it was. And this does, to me, indicate, you know, that usually there can be other people involved in this, particularly if it has to do with work. Maybe there was like a lot of unhealthy, like gossip and office politics nonsense going on. You know, one sword stabbed in your back at a time, over time. There's a time element here, you know. Being mistreated verbally, you know, verbal abuse or any kind of manipulation. Or it could just simply be someone just never following through on what it is that they said. It doesn't even need to be, oh, so dramatic. It's just like over time, somebody kept promising something and it just never changed. And you recognize this, you know. And this really is, you know, at the end of the day, it's a Mercury and Virgo energy. And Virgos, you know, it's all about, doesn't make sense anymore. Nope. You know, and that's what that is. Wasn't making sense as it was. Current energies, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse to start. So this is somebody with no follow through. Yeah, that was what I was just saying, right? So maybe dealing with somebody who just doesn't follow through. There could be a very jealous energy as well. This is somebody that you could be dealing with. It's creating a lot of anxiety for you, though, right? This is nightmare, depression. This is a 3 a.m. card I always talk about, right? Grief, feeling very anxious and all of that. Yes, okay, but why? Because this is a Mars and Gemini energy. So Mars is where we get the swords from, right? Gemini is where we get the swords from. But Mars is that warrior planet. And Mars is always about pulling us out of something that doesn't serve us onto a path that does, right? So it's like, I don't know how to let this person go. I don't know what to do. Should I change jobs? Should I open my own business? What do I do? What do I do? Really trying to get in touch with what it is that you need to do. But then we have this death energy that just shows up here, and it's big changes, endings, time to move on. And it's a rebirth and a transformation of something. And again, go back to the cycle, the idea of cycles, right? This is a Scorpio energy, right? We have Venus entering Scorpio. So for some of you, you might be like, you know what, it's time to end that relationship the way it was, or it's time to transform the relationship into something better. It's time to transform the way I work. It's time for me to get into something totally new in work. It's time for something totally new. But I see there being struggle with the with this transition, okay? And I don't see you talking a lot about it, the High Priestess energy. You're not talking a lot about it, you know? This is about trusting yourself, keeping some secrets, being very mysterious about something. But you shouldn't speak to anybody about it yet. The thing is with the High Priestess, but, you know, as I always say with, you know, High Priestess is connected to the moon. And as I always say with the moon energy, remember the moon rules Cancer, that fourth house. What do we say about Cancer? Not only is it about what do we need to feel grounded, safe, and secure, but Cancer, that fourth house energy, is also where the stories that we tell ourselves live. So, Capricorn, we want to make sure that whatever we're telling ourselves in the High Priestess energy is based in fact. I'm not saying it's not, but you always want to make sure. You always want to check yourself. You know, and be very clear on what it is. Why are you seeing things the way you are? And what can you do practically, from a practical perspective, to change things? And really, I'm talking about breaking it down to what's in your power and your control and what's not, you know, and really trying to level that out. Now, I do see the sun energy coming up as the outcome, which is about material happiness. This is a joyous outcome. And, you know, as I always say, like, this is about having all the tools in your toolbox that you need to be really happy, Capricorn. You have everything you need. You have to put in the work, but you're going to have everything available to you to make whatever changes, whatever adjustments, or create whatever you need to create. You're going to have everything available to you, which is really beautiful. Now, we have that followed up by the Star Reverse. So the Star Reverse, this is about some of you feeling you might be in a state of depression right now. Some of you might be either yourselves struggling or dealing with somebody who is maybe a little arrogant, a little off-put, listen to me, kind of off-putting kind of energy, like that arrogant kind of energy. For some of you, you might be struggling, or your partner might be struggling with some sort of, you know, sexual dysfunction, some sort of illness having to do with, like, maybe you guys are trying to get pregnant, you guys are having a really hard time doing that. That's going to resonate with some of you, but this can also indicate being ignored. Capricorn, I feel like, you know, you feel like you're being ignored by somebody, right? And then we have this working with the Seven of Swords in reverse, but this is about somebody being caught, something coming to light. And there being some sort of like mandated accountability, something coming to light. There being amends made. This is definitely about like making amends, but it's only after somebody is caught doing something. Okay, and then so we have that working with the Eight of Wands, which is an awesome energy. I love this card, because this is about quick movement, information coming in. If you've been waiting for somebody to call you, or if you've been waiting for that loan to come through, or some response about something, because this is good news. Good news comes in and it incites quick changes. And then to have this book ending with the sun, I really like it. So I feel like the Star Reverse is something that you're going to maybe need to work through from that. Like, you just might be a little sad about something not having gone the way that you had anticipated, for sure. You might be you might be experiencing, I don't know, some of you may have been ghosted, or you're being ignored by somebody that you would very much like to get attention from. Doesn't mean that everybody in your life, but it's like that one person, or waiting for that one phone call, waiting for that one thing, maybe waiting for that job response to come in, whatever it is, right? Waiting for that one thing and just not getting it, right? But then things seem to be coming to light and then moving forward for you. Now, I see this block. One of the blocks is the Knight of Cups. Why is the Knight of Cups a block? This is the Prince or Princess Charming. This is a proposal coming in. So it might be confusing to you. Some of you might be getting a proposal from somebody and you're like, I'm not so sure. You know, this could be for romance. This could certainly be for a business opportunity. Anything that speaks to the heart space. But I feel like that's going to be a block because we're working with this Five of Cups energy as well. And we have this idea of moving on, of forgiving, of hope returning, of recovering. So for some of you, you know, this is this idea of this is your challenge right now. So the challenge I see what's going on. Some of you are still very actively working through something in the past. From the past, not in the past, but from the past. So this could be a past relationship, a disappointment in a past job, yeah. So that's why your challenge is in meeting somebody new, because there is a challenge here with moving on, with forgiving. You know, you're having a hard time recovering hope from a situation. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles here. Another challenge for you that you're dealing with is patience right now. Your challenge is patience. You know, you're not okay waiting for this delayed success in something. You know, there's another challenge for you here is, you know, dealing with the truth of something coming out, feeling like something is being handled in a fair way, right? The Justice energy is Libra. Libra's that 7th house of relationships, of partnerships, of very close family connections, of very close friends. We're talking close here. And then this is the big question, how equitable is everything being handled? With things handled in a fair way? You know, but this is your challenge here. The challenge is going to be answering that in an honest way. Not that you're going to be dishonest with yourself, but you may not really like the answer. So this is what I see is going on now. So let's pull, let me leave those. I'll leave those. Let's pull some energies on the person that you're dealing with. So this could be a partner. This could be, you know, an intimate partner, business partner, family member, you know, friend, anybody. Oh, Emperor reverse. What? All right. Let's get into this here. So this is from their point. Okay. This is about them. So we have an Emperor reverse energy. Emperor reverse energy is somebody with a big nasty ego. You know, this is really, you know, I always delay in saying it, but this can be narcissistic tendencies for sure. Immaturity at best, problems with power, somebody who they really are not very good at planning. Again, they have a big nasty ego. And we have this working. This is being qualified by the Mother of Pentacles. So very interesting, right? In the upright, because this is somebody who's very resourceful, right? Now this could have to do with fertility and the idea of being on the domestic front, right? So what does that mean? Somebody could be very poor planning when it comes to something having to do with home, poor planning, or just not being on board, being very selfish when it comes to being able to grow something. So if you're in business with somebody, this is somebody being very self-absorbed. If you want to start a family, somebody just being too focused on their own wants, needs, and desires to, you know, to move forward in building a family and building something with you, right? It's this idea of building something with you. So I do see that they have the ability to be very resourceful and to be able to grow. But when we have this qualifying the Emperor reverse energy, it does indicate that there's selfishness, like they're capable of doing it, they're able to do it, but because their ego or their own sensibility is definitely getting in the way here. Now then we have this Five of Wands in the reverse. So the Five of Wands in the reverse is the be in harmony, right? And success and resolving some problems. So I do see somebody coming in and really wanting to resolve some issues with you for sure. And then we have the Chariot. Chariot is about moving on, taking action, creating change, moving away from whatever was toxic here. Moving away from, really, yeah, whatever was toxic here. And we do have this working with the Seven of Cups as well, but this is in reverse. So the Seven of Cups in reverse is living in the past. Somebody has this person, whoever it is that you're dealing with, they have unrealistic expectations of either you or the situation that you guys are in, however you're connected. This person is rather naive, quite frankly. I mean, this is what I'm seeing here. We have this working with the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is about being very persistent. You know, they're maintaining their boundaries and all of that, but they're not giving up on something. And they are very much focused on living in the past, having to do with something here. And we have this working now with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. And this does indicate some lousy luck, honestly. Things getting out of control. They don't feel in control of themselves. They don't feel in control of what it is that they're doing. And they are very stuck in a rut right now, is what I see. But at the end of the day, they do have the sun. And the sun is about this really beautiful, not only material happiness and just kind of like a joyous outcome, but also having this, you both got the sun. So it's like, however that you're connected to this energy, whether you guys are in business together, you work together, you're married, you're in a family connection together, everybody has all the tools that they need to fix something, whatever it is. But it's like you guys just have to, Capricorn, I'm keeping it real, and I'm not saying this because I'm speaking to you. I feel like you are dealing with somebody who is very caught up in their own energies. I feel like they are going to try to come out of it, but I feel like you're going to have a hard time keeping them out of it. Do you know what I mean? So, very interesting. Yes, but you both have the sun, and the sun illuminates the entire reading. So to get a double sun here, you guys have everything you need to fix whatever the problem is. Not only from your end. Remember I said before, it's about, you know, realizing what you have control over and what you don't have control over. You can only control yourself, but I feel like the energy that you're dealing with, they have everything they need to fix it as well. And I do feel like this idea of fairness is going to be kind of, you know, loud. It's going to be pretty apparent. Now, let me just pull, I'm going to pull some astro cards, throw the dice, but for those of you in relationship, let me just pull a few. Island Time Wellness, Self-Indulgence, the Chaser, the Snake, Camera. Self-indulgence, focusing on self-worth, time to heal, shadow work. Yeah, I do feel like a lot of you guys are doing some really good shadow work. Then we have the Chaser in a codependent relationship. Fear of abandonment issues. And then we have Snake, competition, enemy, malicious. This is very like the Emperor reverse energy. You know, you kind of like there's something about it you don't trust. But then we have Camera, reminiscing, keepsake, learning from the past. You know, the idea with Camera is this idea of learning from the past. And I do feel like somebody is going to be cycling back around. Doesn't mean you have to open the door. Doesn't mean you have to do a thing. But it does seem like there's going to be a cycling back around, and they may use a couple of silly excuses to open the door, as is often the case, right, with energies. It's like, oh, I just wanted to see how you were doing because I ran into so-and-so the other day. Yeah, right, whatever. You know, we have the third house. Oh, I love that we're getting so much Sagittarius. We really are. In the dice, I mean, I'm rolling a lot of Sagittarius, which is really nice. Oh, and look, we have the sun in Sagittarius. This is fabulous. Very good. Third house, Gemini, all about communication, all about being the student, learning something new. I love that Gemini and Sagittarius work together. Yes, guys, full moon, lunar eclipse in what? In Gemini, third house, and Sagittarius. This tells me, I think you're the third sign that I'm getting this when I roll the dice. I'm getting Gemini and Sagittarius. This tells me it's going to be a very powerful energy for you guys. It really is. You have to ask yourself, for good or bad, whose ego is getting in the way in some sort of situation that you're trying to work on in your life. For good or bad. For good or bad. Okay. Square. Challenge. Sun. We got the sun again. Can we get more sun energy? Are you kidding? You got one in yours. The other person got one in yours. It came out in the day, and then we got it here. Unreal. And then look. What? Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Fabulous. but it's not going to be easy. All right, listen. So the square, there's going to be some sort of challenge, right? But the challenge is going to incite some sort of motivation. There's going to be some sort of self-awareness in the sun. There's going to be, there is going to be this idea of ego again. Now, either yours or theirs, whatever, but there's going to be this, okay, how can I explain this? You're going to be very self-sufficient in understanding what it is that you want, need, and desire. You're going to be able to express yourself. You're going to be able to maintain your individuality. So if somebody tries to pull a big, nasty old ego on you, it's really not going to work. It's not. You're in a very strong energy right now. Then we have Jupiter, all about luck and expansion, optimism. Just this is such a beautiful, enthusiastic, optimistic sort of energy that really works to establish. Capricorn, I feel like you're really establishing a new belief system for yourself. I really do. Because that has to do with your moral code and your moral compass. You're very much, you are expanding yourself and who you are on a core level. And whoever challenges you, you're facing them dead on, and you really have to. You really do. Because the thing is with you guys, because you guys are so patient, and you really are. I just don't understand why you guys are the devil energy. I don't. I've looked up to history. It still doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I could give you a little lesson on that sometime, but whatever. But you guys, you guys are the seagull, right? So, I mean, you guys are all about overcoming obstacles and being in things for the long haul and being like very nose to the grindstone, right? You guys are the landlords of the 10th house of work. You're reliable, all of that, right? Fabulous, fabulous. But what happens, I find a lot of times with this energy too, kind of similar to Pisces in this way, even though Pisces is an air energy, I feel like a lot of times people take advantage of that, or they at least try, and so this is you just being large and in charge and not allowing it, just not allowing it anymore. 11th house, friends. 11th house is also your goals and wishes, guys, okay? It's not only friends. 11th house is your goals and wishes and where you actually see your life going. Beautiful. And then we have life's purpose, which is another 11th house. It's 11th house energy, I always think, because it's like, where am I going? What am I doing? And the North Node right now is in Gemini, so I really like this because we do have this full moon lunar eclipse with Gemini and Capricorn coming. So I feel like there are going to be, the chrysalis is going to be popping open through like the end of November into December. I think it's going to keep cracking open until the middle of January, guys. This is what I see for you guys. So I just feel like everything is going to start moving forward, even if the world seems like such a sad mess right now and so confusing and all over the place. It is going to start lightening up. Please believe me when I say that, okay? So that is what I have for you, my Capricorn friends. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.